What's up, Cardfighters? Clark here from Vanguard Central, coming at you with an updated Blue Wave deck profile.
Stand up, Vanguard!
Starting off with our starter, we have Officer Cadet Andre. So I'm sure everyone knows what Andre does, but I just prefer Andre as our starter. Just because we get to enable the extra battles we need in case we don't have any units on the board, like for Tetra Boil or for the Voss. Andre's just been super duper consistent, obviously, but you could also run Draco Kid if you want to get the crit on Tetra Boil. I mean, it's either or. You can just play Andre for the safe, like, restanding, or the Draco Kid for the extra crit on the restanding play, so both are very good for the deck. Starting with our grade 1s, we have 3 Dispatch Mission Seagull Soldier. For the 4th time or more on wave, he can be returned to hand when he boosts. Also, the Soul Blast on place, you can give another unit +3 until end of turn. I just think that skill is really good, especially on Tidal Assault. If you get a nice little rush off, you can call it out, give Tidal Assault +3, so it swings for 12 and then 7 when it restands. So Dispatch Seagull is really good. Then 2 Stacia for the extra attacks from the back row. 4 Kelpie Rider Nikki. Since striding is very important in this deck, we need to be able to do that. Then we have 4 Ocean Keeper Plato for our managing our CB. Granted, the deck doesn't necessarily CB too much, but sometimes you just get into those spots where you don't have extra CB open, or your opponent is CB starving you. We just want to be able to unflip it whenever we can. For grade 2s, one of our main grade 2s is Blue Wave Marine General Foivis with the restanding on the 3rd time or more. I think he's just really good with Andre, since Andre and him can do some like wombo combo plays on your first stride, which is normally the Voss stride. So, and you can end games in a flash with that one play if you get enough triggers, of course. But Foivis at 4. Then Tekken of choice would be 2 Saberflow Sailor. Even though we do run 5 draw triggers, I feel that we don't get enough hand. So since we're able to enable our 4th battles more effectively in this deck, Saberflow is just really good just to retire at the end of the 4th battle and then draw 2 cards for free. Then to enable more battles, we have Magnum Assault, the CB1 boost Amber clone, and then restand guy. And then 4 Tidal Assaults for those early rush, enabling battles, etc., etc. You guys know what he does. On to our grade 3s, we have 3 Blue Wave Dragon, Tetra Drive Dragon. Of course, you could always tech in a Skyros, depending on what you're playing against. I just think Tetra Drive and getting the Blue Wave name is more important. So, and Tetra Drive can fight against like grade 1 rush because of limit break, so that's pretty cool, right? So we have him at 4. Then 4 Blue Wave Dragon, Anger Boil Dragon. Skill for GB2s, wave 2nd time only. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, this unit gets plus 5,000 power, and then choose up to one of your rear guards, stand it, and it gets plus 10,000 until end of turn. So pretty good for that, but his on stride is what makes him the best, which is when you stride over a Tetra Boil Dragon, you can choose 2 of your rear guards and then restand them on the 2nd battle. So you can enable maybe 4 attacks, or a good 3 or 4 attack turn on your first stride if you choose to stride with the Tetra Boil. If you're not trying to do like the restanding plays. So it's just really, really good with Anger Boil. I think you want to ride this guy the most, just to get the most efficiency out of your stride zone. So Anger Boil is king of this deck. For triggers, we run 4 of the Blue Wave Soldier Brutal Trooper for the extra drawing and sending back crits. and then 3 of the Supersonic Sailor, and then we run obviously 4 Heal Trigger, and then 5 draws, which are Malika and 1 of the Blue Storm Battle Princess Doria. Onto our G zone, we have 1 Metal Element Screw for our guarding, 2 Dismals, 2 Dark Element Dismals to put resist on our units because they're very, very important, and then 1 Guard Leader of Sky and Water Floatia. I know like some people may be thinking, oh, why aren't you running the what is that, the big dragon or whatever, the blue, the PG that became or quintet wall that became a G guard. Yeah, it's just bad. There's just nothing really good generic for Aqua Force, so you might as well run Cray Elementals. So I just thought sticking with the theme, it'd be okay to run Floatia. And then onto our strides, we have 1 Seabreeze, 1 Christos to make our front row 11k, woohoo! 1 Aristotle for that extra on retire pressure that we could get as our first stride. Then we run, well, this is 3 but 4 Storm Dominator Commander Thavis with the attacking from back row, giving it plus 5k, and the extra retires. But normally you first stride this just to unlock GB2 as soon as possible in this deck, in case you're not able to G-Guard, and so on and so forth. It also gives you resist on the, what's it called, third, fourth time, sorry. Okay, and then 4 of the Blue Wave Martial Dragon Tetraboil Dragon for our restanding Vanguard of the deck. So skill is choose a face down Blue Wave Tetraboil Dragon, yada yada yada. It's on attack, and then CB1, and then this unit subtracts a drive check, and then when your other unit attacks on like the 4th time, you can discard 1 and then stand this unit. So you really need a field to enable this guy. I think it's pretty cheap for 1 CB to get quad drive, and if you have Draco Kid and the crit triggers and you use Draco Kid on that like 5th battle, right, to get a crit, but if you use the crits, you just draw an insane amount on a restand play, which is really good. And if you notice, there's no Lambros in the deck because you technically don't need it, because Tetraboil will be your finisher, and Thavis, is still really good. And then granted, we got the new Storm of Lament Wailing Thavis with the skill of when this unit attacks for each battle that a rearguard attacked during the turn, your opponent chooses one of his or her rearguards and retires it. So you're basically gonna attack with all your rearguards first to get like 4 battles off, right? And that's 4 retires at GB3, and then it gains plus 5 for each of the battles, and your unit can't guard with grade 1s. So in case you don't kill him with Tetraboil, which, obviously they're going to double PG, G-Guard, whatever, they're not going to have enough for Wailing Thavis, that's for sure. So you could definitely, depending on how you tempo your game, you can finish your opponent with either or. So definitely not a huge need for Lambros, but of course if you want to tech those in, go ahead and do that. Alright, Cardfighters, I hope you enjoyed the deck profile. If there's anything that could make the deck better, let us know in the comments section below. Otherwise, it's been really fun. Hope you've enjoyed the matches that we've been showing you guys for the past few weeks. Blue Wave is definitely very powerful, but it does show the most versatility besides Thavis. But Thavis' advantage is just that you can switch on Skyros and still have those resist turns, so but otherwise both variants of Aqua Force are very good, and I hope you enjoyed. Alright, Vanguard Central out.